We start in one of Seattle's parks. We see Trip walking down the sidewalk, carrying a small bag of some simple groceries, their little mouse familiar on their shoulder. And as they are getting back to their particular tent, there is a rustling towards the back of it. And they pause, put the bag down, and reach into their messenger bag that they've got, pull out a canister of pepper spray. And they say, "Whatever you think you're stealing, it is not worth what's coming to you if you don't get out of there right now." Rustling continues. They offer their hand for the little mouse spirit to jump into, and they gently lower them to the ground so they can hop off and stalk forward towards the tent. They crouch down and they say, "Last chance." And they quickly unzip the tent flap and roll inside and then raise the pepper spray to hit whoever's messing with their things and stop because they are in shock and awe because it's not a person in their tent. It is a creature, a glowing silvery creature with a bit of gold in the aura that they cast and a long serpentine neck, which is snuffling around some of their things. And Trip slowly puts the pepper spray down, and Fui, the mouse spirit, crawls up over the zipped entrance of the tent, scurries ahead of them, and then sits and looks up at this being in the tent. And Trip just says, "You're not from around here." The world is full of wonders.
Magic is waiting in small moments.
And monsters might be watching, just out of sight.
But if you're looking to find them,
adventure is waiting to happen.
You never know who you'll meet along the way.
We are the Storyteller Squad. Hello, adventurers. Welcome back to the Storyteller Squad. Thanks for joining us for more Monster of the Week. Before we begin, let's check in with our heroes.
A mystery? Good thing the answer is elementary, my dear Whitaker. I'm Damien Edgecrest.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
Damn.
A strong start.
Damn, that's good.
Let's hope this meeting with Whispered goes better than the last one. I'm Raven Eugenia.
So, if Damien is the Robin to Hugo's Batman, does that make me Batgirl? I'm Amity Steinbrook. Cute.
I know it's just a potluck, but if things go right, you'll get invited to the cookout. I'm Hugo Rashad.
Ooh, that was cute.
We can only hope.
Despite my best efforts, this one cannot be solved by swinging a sword at it. I'm Agent Whitaker.
Not with that attitude.
Despite the rumors, there's only one angel in Seattle. I'm Aiden Brightwood.
Ooh.
That was adorable.
We'll see about that. There's 3 of them.
Let's have an adventure. Last time, after fighting off a large Leshy spirit, Rogue Team captured Sierra Bramblepoint and were unable to get a moment to speak with the members of Las Muertas, who fled the scene immediately, not wanting to get involved in agency interactions. Hugo, knowing his friends, did stay long enough to plan to meet up later, following his check-in with Karla Hernandez and the rest of his whispered contacts in the city. Sierra, using a folk promise, sealed her ability to divulge information and stymied the agent's investigation through asking her any questions. After picking up dinner, Hugo and Amity met the agents at their hotel to discuss plans for dealing with the issues facing this city, most notably the prevalence of the dangerous spell components which so strongly resemble Philosopher's Stones. Hugo and Amity went back to Witching Hour Soups for the night and Rogue Team went to bed, even though some of them required a little encouragement. In the morning, Rogue Team was called to the city morgue, where Jamila Khalid, the vulture harpy coroner, showed them a citizen who had been discovered dead, but with whispered tattoos covering their entire body. With the help of Jamila's magical autopsy equipment, with Damien's coffee-mancy?
Caffeinamancy?
Barista casting? With these magics combined, we learned the cause of death for one Kevin Fisher was a demonic attack. Rogue Team split up to investigate other areas of the city. Raven and Aiden traveled to the Stone Family Foundation homeless shelter, where they met with Nell Fields, one of the attendants, and a young girl named Gwen, who we had seen helping Whitaker in one of the early fights that Rogue Team had when they first arrived in the city. Gwen says that she is working through the foundation to get her magical license so that she will not be in trouble for using the magic her whispered tattoos grant her, and revealing that she is yet another person who Karla's group have granted the whispered tattoos to as a boon for those in need. We saw Damien travel to one of the tent encampments in one of Seattle's parks, where he met Trip, a resident there, and his spirit companion, Fui, the mouse spirit. Trip seems very suspicious of people with tattoos and says he doesn't trust anything they have to say or be involved in because people he knows who recently got tattoos have been going missing. Hugo spoke with Karla, and eventually she agreed to host Rogue Team for a discussion of what the two groups might be able to do together, a potluck, if you will. And so Rogue Team were invited to Witching Hour Soups, where we will pick up as you all arrive, ready for this conference of the two forces in the city trying to stop this illegal spell component crisis.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of soups they got?
The important questions.
I think we had gone over this a little bit. There was
A recap, if you will.
Yep, a recap of the soups on tap, as it were. Definitely a tomato bisque. A minestrone, I think, is definitely there.
There was the questionably non-onion French onion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The brown stuff soup, which lacks both onion and Frenchness.
Try the brown stuff. It's delicious.
Yes.
I love you.
There's definitely a chili.
Notably no chowder.
No chowder, for sure. Probably another clearer broth soup that is also like corn and bean and carrots, maybe some ground turkey. And yeah, I think the soups also rotate. You know, they're not going to make the same thing for all of them all the time. So certain things are classics and remain. They must have a chicken noodle. But yeah, there's lots of flavors here. If there's a soup you want, they've got it.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hugo, where in their establishment do you think the dinner is happening? Is it up on the roof? The like OR mechanic shop / tattoo shop?
Definitely not down there.
Yeah.
Probably on the roof at first, at least.
Okay. So we get a view of you all walking up through the stairs as Hugo leads you to where a table has been set for everyone to sit. There are several hotel pans with the little burners underneath them to keep some soups warm. There's like a quickly thrown together salad, and you guys said you were bringing the bread, so... Karla turns from where she was like inspecting something growing on a trellis of the greenhouse section, and she's gotten a little dressed up. She's got her wide-brimmed hat. We won't say like formal, but like, you know, she's got like a dress on. She's like out of her chef's attire and working clothes, and she is now much more ready to be hostess.
How are her tattoos looking?
Extensive. Starting from like behind her ear, they travel down her neck. They don't really cover any portion of the throat, but you can definitely see they reach around and add intricate designs over her collarbone and down her sternum. She's got like a puff sleeve, and everything from where her arm is exposed with skin down to her hand is also covered. So yeah, about as thorough as her daughter's tattoo.
Sure.
I think Gabriella is here, but there is no sign of Fernanda or Mercedes. Karla will say as Hugo comes in the door, Hugo, thank you for bringing your friends. Have a seat, everyone. The food is warm, but it will get cold quickly up here.
Thanks for having us. I didn't expect this warm of a welcome.
She says, let's not get to business so quickly, Mr. Whitaker. Eat. We'll talk once we are all full. I find things go much better that way.
I couldn't agree more, and you can see Damien's putting some whipped cream on the apple pie he bought.
You're eating the pie you brought first.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, he is. And then he comes over with his little pie slice to shake hands and introduce himself. Hi, I'm Damien Edgecrest. I don't think we were properly introduced the last time, but I'm here to help as needed.
Karla Hernandez. Nice to meet you, Mr. Edgecrest. I seem to recall your voice, but a different form. I think this is an improvement.
Oh, thank you. It's not a full improvement, but I like it.
I think this one's better for appreciating soup at the very least.
Just a hell of a sweet tooth on that one.
You got that right.
I want so bad to make a joke about how, like, he's only 2, but I don't want to bring that up so early in the dinner of, like, oh, this is our friend. He's new to being human.
And this is, of course, Agent Raven Eugenia, Agent Aiden Brightwood. And it seems you've already met Amity.
Amity is just like waiting for people to like sit and start eating, and they're still like plucking some potato peels out of their hair.
Their eyes are all red from the onions. This one's a hard worker. She can stop by witching hour soups anytime they like.
I plan to.
You don't know what you've just done.
You all took in to eat. After a little while, Karla will get up and fetch a bottle of like a nice red wine, pour herself a glass, place it on the table. Gabriella will bring glasses out for other people who might want some. And as Karla takes her sip and sets it down, she says, "These crystals, have you had much trouble with them in Portland?"
A bit. Not like this. Not quite to the extent that you have from the looks of it.
It came on very suddenly. It was definitely a planned release, not someone testing a few things here and there. Everything that's hit the streets has been a large-scale amount and seemingly of the same caliber as what we're seeing today.
Well, let's get some stuff on the table.
Yeah, we saw you guys were helping out with some of the breakouts. Anything we can do to help support you or stay out of your way as appropriate, we're happy to.
At first, it was just up to us to try and track these creatures down on the streets as they were dealing the product. But once we realized the sort of monsters we were fighting, we developed a system for tracking when they are released. It's been helpful, but also the girls have been overwhelmed. Whoever is behind this has increased the supply in order to cover the fact that some are being destroyed by us.
Has Hugo told you about his experience facing off against these Leshy?
Karla looks to you, Hugo. He did not, but he tends to be tight-lipped.
As a note, while he probably didn't share with Karla specifically, he did share it with the others, as they were preparing for combat and such.
Sure, okay.
That makes sense.
Gabriella speaks up and she says, "Well, you said it was just the one time, right?"
It's just the one, and much smaller.
Smaller and just once, but in connection to someone that might have something to do with this.
Mm-hmm. One Mr. Fowler, who has been in conversation with some other people that showed up most recently.
The folk.
The folk.
Do you think that their grudge against you is what's brought them to our city?
I have my doubts, unless they're just actively tracking me, which, in today's day and age, isn't too unlikely.
If not because of you, why else do you think they would be here then?
I don't want to pin this all on Hugo. This is also potentially connected to some other larger moves that have nothing to do with him. Some of the crime lords in our area have been power squabbling.
Well, if they had some planned reinforcements, they probably should have picked better ones.
Regardless of how easily you think you are able to handle them, from what we've seen, the folk are not the ones dealing these crystals, but they are defending the Leshy.
Above the table talk, I want to volunteer the information we got about, it was about the vision we saw in the coffee thing, but we never really concluded what had actually happened there, and I want to make sure that we know exactly what information was gained from that vision. Was it that they are siphoning magic and life energy from a person with tattoos to make the crystal, or the crystal was being used to do that?
You saw through Kevin's perspective, his life energy being drained away, and then him blacking out before it finished fully.
Noted. All right.
You all have the theory that this is what's making the crystals, but you haven't confirmed that.
All right, then if folks don't have immediate questions to ask, I might ask a question.
Or definitely volunteer that information, because if we're seeing one tattooed person getting targeted, I think telling that to the tattoo team is pretty good.
We'll get to that. I'm not volunteering free information. I'm a secret agent.
Okay, I'm a bad secret agent, so you just wink at me when you want Damien to spill it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Damien can fucking spill it if he wants.
So yeah, that's the information you have as far as like what you saw in the morgue.
I want to be very clear with you, Miss. Can I call you Karla or?
She says, only if you tell me your first name, Agent.
You can call me Lonnie.
Lonnie, you may call me Karla.
Karla, I want to be very clear with you. Our mission is to take care of the crystals and the trade relating to that specifically. I don't want to get too far into the business you all have with the tattoos. I feel like that's probably best left to the people using them and working with them. That being said, these two worlds are overlapping with each other at an alarming rate. So if you don't mind me asking, can I ask how many people in Seattle at this time have been given magical tattoos to work with? And if you don't know because someone else is doing them as well, that is also useful information to me.
I think you notice her shoot her eyes over to Gabriella, and then they kind of settle on her hands as she clasps them together in front of her on the table. She says, respectfully, I would rather not give you a list of potential targets. Lots of the people I have given the gift to do not have a license for the magic that they grant, but your being here and being in contact with Hugo indicates that at least your squad is less worried about cracking down on that particular illegality.
Karla, with all due respect, you've made a list of potential targets. We saw someone in the morgue this morning.
Okay, yeah, if you add that detail, she says.
Yeah.
Someone with our markings?
I would assume so, yes. That was my understanding.
Tell me, how many other people in the morgue did you bother to pay attention to?
We were only called in to look at the one.
The number of people dying in Seattle as a result of these crystals and the prevalence of magic and monsters is far greater than one.
Nice. It's a good response, Karla. Thank you for that.
I think Raven's going to speak up at this point.
Yeah, no, go for it. That's good. That's so good.
The man that we saw at the morgue had just recently gotten his tattoos, and yet they had progressed to the point where that's seemingly what was the cause of his death.
Gabriella looks at you, Raven, and she says, that's impossible. And Karla kind of raises a hand, and she says, nothing is impossible these days, my girl. Go on, Miss Eugenia.
We have reason to believe that these crystals that are getting distributed throughout the city are possibly the cause of such a rapid expansion of the tattoos to the point where they max out on the person.
Karla furrows her brow, and she says, Kevin was not one to push the magic that we gave him. He was using it to pursue a career, better opportunities, which is what most of them want the magic for. But it does not make sense that the tattoo would progress to the point of death unless pushed in a life or death situation.
Yeah, I do want to be clearer. He was pushed to that point. I did some magic scrying to see what he was up to when he was killed, and it looks like he had been captured, and whoever had done it set up an imp to zap him until the tattoos expanded, and it was unpleasant for all involved.
Demons are involved now too, not just the folk.
Yeah, it was an imp, which typically a low-level Asmodeus demon, but some of the coloring of the magic was more Leviathan style, so it's more convoluted and complicated than I've ever seen. They've never interacted kindly with each other under any circumstances. I can't imagine a team up at all.
All right now, Damien.
I couldn't even dream of them teaming up together.
Oh my God. You're such a little shit.
Whitaker coughs on like a particularly spicy bite.
Someone needs to kick him under the table.
No, we're not doing violence to Damien anymore.
No more violence on Damien.
A little nudge. Stop it.
None of you know. You have to nudge me.
Fucking ridiculous.
I feel like there's a few pointed looks across the table.
Everyone does a little choke on their soup.
Yeah, Aiden spit takes her water. Sorry.
Sorry, spicy.
It's the one not spicy soup.
It's the water.
It's water.
Karla looks to you, Hugo. Demons, folk, our enemies make strange bedfellows.
You don't think they're roommates, do you?
When she finishes that statement, her eyes scan the entire table, implying that, like, it is also odd that I am here speaking to the agents and the agents being who they are.
That's fair.
Times change.
Every day.
It's the only truth, or the only certainty.
It's unfortunate what's happened to Mr. Fisher, but I am not keeping tabs on everyone who comes and receives help from our group. The goal is to not have to see them again. Everyone who comes here is in desperate need, including the agents, it seems. Short on clues and answers.
All right now, come on.
Seems a little unfair.
Well, and it seems you're short on firepower, so here we are.
Took the exact words right out of my mouth. I wanted to see if you would say that first.
Aiden says, maybe not. You don't even have an estimate for how many people you've given tattoos to?
It seems a little irresponsible.
Karla says, a couple hundred?
Is she telling the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Because that feels like a reasonable thing to lie about to us.
Mm-hmm.
Just had to check.
Roll plus sharp, Raven, as you use your lie detecting and people reading ability here.
That's an 11.
Do you want to ask a specific or general question since you are investigating this issue?
There's lots of things that I want to know, and I don't know how to phrase it into like one question.
I'll just give you this then.
Yeah.
Karla is not lying about not keeping track. She very pointedly has given you an accurate estimate in a way to almost intimidate. You know, it's a soft intimidation move to say there are hundreds of whispered in this city now.
I think I was worried the number was going to be higher. So to me, I was like relieved by that.
You're relieved. Whitaker's over here like, this is so much shit that I can't put in a report.
I thought she was going to say thousands. So, couple hundred. I'm like, easy.
I mean, hundreds could mean close to 1,000.
Oh, I thought you said a couple hundred.
Karla's being vague.
Multiple hundreds.
Yeah.
Multiple hundreds is still a lot of new whispered.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, stressed again.
That's a lot of people. Right, because that's still, in the 2 years since the revelations, that's still easily one a day.
Yeah, at a minimum.
Maybe several a day.
Raven, you can sense Aiden's mood is shifting when she hears that.
Yeah, I don't know how much I want to like harp on Karla because I don't want to like hamper the process, but I think Whitaker will say something along the lines of like, Karla, I really appreciate your trust in telling us this. I hope you understand the size of the favor I am doing by not relaying this back to the agency.
She says, I will take that into account and measure it against the favor that these people have been doing to fight back against these dangerous components.
Potentially being created by magic siphoned from the people you gave tattoos to.
Aiden says, you haven't solved anything. You're just creating a standing army.
Hundreds is pretty good. How can we help you get that number up?
Oh my God.
Damien, no.
A variety of reactions.
Yeah, I love people having more Hugo powers. This is great.
Jesus.
Karla makes eye contact with Aiden. What's your point? Ever since those crystals hit the market, The streets of Seattle have become a magical war zone. And Aiden, who's been holding her glass of water, sets it down on the table.
If that's how you see it, then you're enlisting innocent people into a conflict they aren't prepared to understand, much less fight in.
Karla places her hands flat on the table.
At least now they can fight. I'm giving the people the tools they need to fight back.
Aiden stands up and pushes her chair back.
Oh, shit.
Did you even consider that more people fighting might not solve the problem? The more weapons and power you give to humans, the harder it is to reach a peaceful solution. Peace was never an option, Celestial.
Agent Brightwood, sit down.
Aiden slowly sits back down, but she's still matching Karla's glare.
Your tactics are short-sighted and irresponsible.
Gabriella puts a hand on Karla's and says,
Mama, please.
Karla stays standing.
Save the lectures for the cameras you pose in front of, Miss Brightwood. Finish your food, agents, and get out.
And Karla leaves the table and heads downstairs to the kitchens. Gabriella exhales in a similar way to how you've seen Hugo exhale and just sort of cradles her head in her hands.
Thank you for your personal commentary, Agent Brightwood. Whitaker's going to take a lap around the greenhouse. He needs air, but he's also in a mostly outdoor setting.
Mm-hmm.
He needs space. He needs some personal space.
Aiden says under her breath to no one in particular,
That wasn't commentary. It was perspective.
and she teleports away.
Whoa. Okay.
So, left at the table, Hugo, Damien, Raven, Amity, Gabriella.
Gabriella, I need you to explain something to me real quick.
Sure. What's up?
Have you been adding to the whispered numbers? Or have you just been giving people tattoos?
We're not training anybody. Your friend's not wrong. Not entirely.
Do any of these people know that they're in any more danger than they were before?
I think a lot of them feel safer.
But feeling safer and actually being safer are really different things.
Especially when you're in objectively more danger.
She reaches out and rips a chunk of the bread off from the loaf in the center of the table and kind of nibbles at it. She says, "To be fair, we started way before these crystals showed up. This was just a way to help people who came to us now that we're not keeping all the secrets."
Oh, we may not be keeping enough of them then.
Not my call. You saw what going against her looks like.
Tough cookies. You're a family after all. But this isn't on you. I'm not even going to say that because that's not fair.
Mom's word is law around here, especially for me and my sisters. And she gives a little whistle, and you hear Mercedes lands, holding her sniper rifle, starts to disassemble it, and Fernanda just sort of appears out of invisibility with her knives.
That checks out.
Queens.
Fernanda kind of just throws her stuff on the table, sits down, gets a bowl of soup, starts eating. Mercedes does the same, just wordlessly. They start tucking in.
Respect, yeah.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The demons have got more powerful weapons, so the one response was to give the humans more powerful weapons, and we're a little upset that it's a little untrained firearm safety going on, which is potentially more dangerous. No, it's a pretty fair response. But if we can figure out how to disarm things on the demon side before this becomes an arm race, then it'll be fine. And we'll just have to try to give people training and safety manuals for their tattoos so that they cause less problems.
Oh, if only it was that easy.
We can't exactly just put out an ad saying if you got a magical tattoo recently, show up to this safety class. If they don't know these people's names or where they are now, I agree that that's the ideal plan, but how do we contact any of them safely?
To be fair, even with the knowledge of the tattoos that we have, we don't even fully know what they're capable of.
And they have no reason to trust us, at least. And Raven kind of gestures to, like, the agents at the table still.
Oh, well, I mean, we can't train them. We don't know. We're not the experts. Gestures at the 3 whispered members in attendance. You guys are. Not that, like, it's a big responsibility, not to throw it all on you. But I just find better ways to train people and get some information out there, and we can try to get some sort of a support network for them.
We may want to stop the bleeding first before we put on the band-aids.
Agreed.
Take the thorn out.
Precisely. So then the question is, how do we stop the bleeding? How do we find the cause of the problem? And, pardon my statement, nip it in the bud.
Power of friendship and no secrets, and then we get all the information and we know what to do.
Gabriella looks to Hugo and she says, "You did come here for information, and you've traded a little to us. I think we can show you a little of what we have. Let's walk him into the garden."
Mind your step.
Gabriella brings you into the portion of the garden that is in the little greenhouse. It's just plastic walls over a metal structure. She takes you in, and you see a strange-looking vegetable bed in here that is not shaped like the others. It's not neatly square or anything like that. It is very much just sort of an oddly constructed wooden framing. And within it are a number of different plants of like a lot of different varieties, chilies and eggplants and zucchini and all sorts of things that would bear vegetables or fruit from them. And most of the produce in this particular garden is unripened. And Gabriella comes over and she leans on the edge of this plant bed and she says, "This is how we're finding the Leshy when they're about to show up." And she gestures and points at a strawberry plant, which is actually devoid of the berries. And she says, "That's the garden from last night." She points at another plant where there's a few budding green cherry tomatoes, but a lot are missing from like stems and buds where they would have been picked away. And she says, "That was a couple days ago in downtown." And she's just pointing at different vegetables in the garden and naming locations in Seattle. And you realize that the shape of this plant bed is a map of the city. The various produce plants in here are placed in areas where there are parks or large trees, known thoroughfares that are quite greenified, naturally or thanks to the folk presence that has arisen in the city. We've been able to connect it to the natural ley lines of the city. Anytime there's a surge, something ripens, so we head there.
That's really cool.
It works out that we're fighting a plant-based spirit.
How do you think we can best help the next time you get a signal? I don't want to step on your toes and vice versa.
If what you're doing is trying to stop this, we can tell you where it is, and then maybe you bring in backup of your own so we're not on the scene at all. I'm not gonna lie, my sisters and I are really tired. It's been a rough month. Mom would never admit it, but she's beat too.
Well, that's what the cavalry is for. Yeah, you guys can tell us where to go and we can take care of it for you.
Natalie, I have a question.
Yeah.
This garden area,
Mm-hmm.
in the dream that Amity had the night before,
Mm-hmm.
is this garden anything like what she saw in her dream? Because I believe in my notes it says she gets sent out to the garden by Nana Margie, and then the garden suddenly becomes a forest. Does this garden look anything like what she saw?
No. The garden you saw in your dream resembled Nana Margie's backyard vegetable patch.
Got it. Just wanted to check.
Yeah.
And just so I'm clear, you want us to not mention anything about the garden, not mention anything about the whisper tattoos, et cetera, et cetera. That's all hush hush.
Gabriella looks to Hugo. Is this guy new?
I just like being clear. I'm so sorry.
He's new in some ways.
She looks to you, Damon. She says, "Sorry, that was rude of me. I can spell it out. Yeah, consider us an anonymous tip line."
Cool. So then when we go and we tell the agency they have to send backup to that location, we're going to have to find an alternate story to tell them about why we know to send them to that location.
I guess so.
At least for the first few, our team can show up, just say it was the result of stakeouts and stuff, and then see how it goes from there. If we have to come up with a reason of how we know this keeps happening, maybe we'll find some other stuff along the way that will make a good reason.
Also, wasn't there something you wanted us to get, Amity? Like one of those things intact?
Oh, yeah. If we could get just one of the leshy, I could try seeing who's making them. It's not a guarantee, but it's something.
We could try to capture one of the small ones next time.
We haven't been able to find the source. It's only ever the spawn points that alert our system here.
Amity's got some tricks up her sleeve.
Just a few.
Hugo, read a bad situation.
I'm concerned.
That never goes well.
Uh-oh.
12.
Hugo, you're standing here discussing options with your friends, and you notice one of the plants in the garden is not growing larger fruit. It's just growing. We'll say it's a vine plant of some sort, but it is overtaking the trellis it is on and starting to weigh it down with how thick and large this plant is getting. It is just building up.
Gabriella, remind me, what does it mean if there's no fruit being added, but it's just going ham?
She looks at you like, why would you be? And then goes to look at the garden, and she says, it's a different kind of energy.
Have you seen this before?
No, this is attuned specifically to the Leshy.
Should we go?
What part of the city is that?
It's the park with the encampment.
Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go see what's going on.
Gabriella looks to you, Hugo, and she says, are you going to risk going with them?
Bold of you to assume it's a risk. You guys get some rest, okay? Do me a favor. Check to see if Karla isn't too mad with us.
I'm going to say I think dinner went about as well as we all could have expected.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
You're not wrong. If we're gonna go, we probably need to gather some people real quick. Makes his gaze go towards where Whitaker is.
Yeah, I guess Whitaker is just like out on the roof in like a different corner.
I think Amity's booking it out of the greenhouse and goes, Whitaker, things are happening. We gotta go.
Whitaker turns around and gets the keys. Where are we going?
Damien grabs his apple pie container and hurriedly heads out too.
The whole container.
Let's go. Tell Karla the soup is delicious. And we're out.
And Hugo sends a text to Aiden
Yep.
of where they're going.
I think Raven also sends one not knowing that Hugo is texting her. Same kind of thing of like, hey, if something's happening at the encampment, we're going to check it out. Specifically not saying like meet us there or you should be there too, but just this is what we are doing.
Whitaker sends a text saying, meet us there. That's an order.
Okay, 3 different texts.
All at the same time.
Whitaker says, get to the encampment. Raven says, hey, this is where we're going. What does yours say, Hugo?
Changing locations to handle a problem. Thought you should know.
Okay,
Oh.
no details.
Damien will text, I saved you a piece of apple pie.
My fucking God.
Yes. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That's a good spread right there.
That is a good spread. You all head out of Witching Hour Soups. You get down to street level. Aiden's by the bikes.
We're all texting her on the way down and find her out on the street. Oh.
You see she's rubbing at her eyes and kind of trying to like pull it together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she just throws her helmet on to like get ready to ride.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Repress those emotions. That's a later issue. And by later, I mean never.
When they get on the bike, because I imagine Aiden rides with Raven,
Mhm.
before they leave, she'll just kind of reach back and like pat Aiden on the leg, trying to just be a little reassuring for just a moment.
I'm sorry I lost it back there.
It's okay. And then they will take off.
Down the street.
We've got bigger things to deal with right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Amity, I suppose you're flying.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Hugo, you can keep up with the motorcycle.
Seems solid.
Unless Hugo wants to rest his legs and get a lift. Amity offers the back of the staff.
I was going to say, Whitaker offers the back of the bike.
Damien offers the sidecar and hops on the back of Whitaker.
God damn it.
I thought you were going to say just gestures to his lap in the sidecar. Like, hop in, Betty.
That's fun.
We're sharing.
Amity's the right choice, though.
Mhm.
It's up to Hugo.
Flight chance? Absolutely. Broom go.
Hang on tightly.
Okay, yeah, you hop on Amity's staff.
Broom, broom. I'm so sorry.
You little witch, you.
Wow.
Get out.
Thank you.
You show up near the park. And when you get here, there is seemingly nothing dramatic happening.
That's good.
It's foreboding.
A little spooky, but also a little reassuring.
I suppose we will walk around.
Is there like a good high point we could get to look down at?
I would love for Amity to do some divination type shit and try to basically detect magic, essentially. I'm sorry I keep referencing D&D spells, but this is correct for the situation.
We said Amity was a full-on wizard this season. If that's the easiest way to come up with like the flavor of the magic you want, that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, well, to be fair...
Could be a magic-based read-a-bad situation.
To be fair, my weird is much better than my sharp, so I would much rather use the weird.
If you're trying to detect magical presences in this encampment, roll plus weird.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we'll say it's you using your sight to be able to do things like investigate and read a bad situation.
Yeah, all right. I'm down for that. So we're rolling read a bad situation, but with weird, correct?
Sure. If there's not like an effect from the use magic table that you're trying to go for here, then yeah, you're just doing this thing magically. I'm trying not to like get held down by like, I want to do this mechanical thing. It's like, just tell me what Amity's doing, right? Don't worry about the mechanics. I'm in charge of adjudicating that. You're just telling me what your character wants to do.
They do have this site. You can see the invisible, especially spirits and magical influences. You may communicate with, and maybe even make deals with the spirits that you see, and they give you more opportunities to spot clues when you investigate a mystery. So that's an 11 on my dice. So even if I roll it with my plus sharp and minus 1, it's a 10.
Amity, your sight widens. We can say like your pupils dilate a little bit. And you see lots of little hot spots of magic throughout this encampment. You see quite a few people here have very undeveloped but beginner whispered tattoos. You also see a few spirits here and there, and you sense a very powerful spirit presence here in this park. And for a moment, you're trying to pinpoint where it is, and you realize you can't discern that because you are already within the massive aura it is projecting.
Oh.
Had you done this a block or two away, you might have seen a glowing presence. But you have already traveled within that aura, making it a little difficult to say exactly the origin point.
Yeah, and I think they look like confused. Whatever's here, it's putting out a massive amount of magical energy. I don't recognize it.
Aiden takes the helmet off, and she looks to Raven, and she says, I recognize it.
You do?
You do?
Don't you?
Do I?
When she points it out, Raven, you do. You feel something drawing on your magic while you are here. It's not stealing it, it's not draining it from you or expending it, but there is just like almost a magnetic attraction to whatever presence is here.
Can I follow that feeling? See where it is like the strongest?
Mm-hmm. Why don't you investigate a mystery?
That's an 8. Thank God I have 3 sharp. I feel like the obvious question is, where did it go?
Okay, just because you're going to be walking through the camp, is everyone sticking close to Raven? Are you splitting up?
My instinct would be a little bit of splitting up if we're trying to find something.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be just a girls and boys mix, depending on who wants to go where. But I know Damien and Whitaker tend to stick together.
Amity, I think, will like hover above camp and kind of keep an eye on the two groups.
Yeah.
Amity's eyes in the sky.
Hugo's walking on his own, just so you know,
You by yourself?
since Amity's in the sky.
Okay.
Unless that doesn't work.
No, it's fine. I'm deciding if that triggers anything.
Oh no.
The encampment has lair actions.
It has trap cards.
See, now I want a map.
You all split up. Hugo, as you're going around, you see a familiar face. You see Gwen, the young woman who ran into Witching Hour Soups, asking to kind of be sheltered by Karla and her group the day before. And she is chatting with some folks who are sort of just sitting in a circle. That's who you run into as you're wandering about. She also recognizes you and says to the group, "Anyway, just consider it, okay? Really, they're helping us a lot. No pressure though, whatever works for you. I'm just excited." And she stands up, and then we'll go over to you, Hugo, and she says, "Hey, you were with Karla the other day."
Yeah, you stopped into the kitchen, right?
"Yep, I had to do a shift."
You doing a little bit better? You seemed a little bit out of sorts.
"Yeah, actually, I got that whole issue cleared up earlier today. Turns out, I'm good. I'm in the clear."
Good. Well, I don't need to tell you that if you need any help, just reach out and stuff. You already know what to do. You got people.
"Yeah, are you new in town? What's the deal?"
Relatively new in town, helping for a little bit. Getting my bearings still. In theory, hopefully not being here too long.
"Not putting down roots then?"
Not anytime soon.
They nod and they say, "Well, if you see me at the kitchen, I'll make something for you.
Triple spice, please.
Always." And she goes over to a dandelion there with its seeds about to blow away. And she picks it up and then within her hands activates her tattoo and grows a bursting of them, fresh and new and more vibrant. And she hands them over and she says, "Have a nice day."
You too. And he's going to have a slightly concerned, slightly somber look on his face.
Mm-hmm.
As he remembers the last person that he knew who was doing work with the tattoos affecting plants.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to carry on walking.
Okay. We'll cut to Damien and Whitaker. Do you guys want to be looking into anything?
Oh, we're looking into everything.
Roll a sharp check. We'll see what you find.
Both of us? Or
Or you want to roll sharp and I can help?
Yeah, let's do that.
let's do that. It's a 7. Do you have advanced help out?
Nope.
Yikes.
7,
Okay.
8, 9. I do successfully provide assistance.
A mixed help out, though.
Unless I don't want to expose myself to trouble or danger.
I was going to say, opening yourself up to trouble or danger might be exactly what the situation calls for.
Look, there is a lot of things pressuring Damien right now, so I think he has to bottle it up
Mm-hmm.
to make it a 10
Okay.
and give Natalie a danger point.
A hold is what they're called in this game, but yes.
Wrong game, sir.
There's something so good about danger point, though.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
There really is.
A hold? What's that? What are you holding?
Plot.
Give your GMs danger points as a treat.
I think, well, it's a mix. So you get to ask me something, but then I'm going to tell you something you don't see.
Ooh, clever, cute. I think I'm not expecting to get a lot of information out of this, but I think for Whitaker at least, he knows not to ask, hey, have you seen any glowing green crystals around? But he will ask if anyone has seen anything like the Leshy, any plant creatures, anything running around like that. Because that's a little more specific and you don't feel like a narc if you say something.
Sure.
And the question, I think, is also something between a where did it go and what's being concealed here, whichever makes more sense.
Yeah, okay. I think you end up asking a older looking goblin who says as he's eating a sandwich, "Yeah, those viney guys, they're always coming by trying to push stuff. But most folks here know, that's a quick way to end up worse than we are now. So yeah, as far as I know, nobody's been buying what they've been offering. If you're looking for where they show up, it's generally over by the road. You got the tree line in that way, and I haven't come by the camp in a few days, but been hearing word through people I know in the city. They're around. Been around a while now. Might just be a new thing to adjust to."
Have you seen anything recently in this area itself?
"Recently had a fight the other day break out. Somebody came in swinging with some real big magic, and good ugly, got it broken up. Fortunately didn't bring too much attention. Probably would have meant the end of the camp. So just glad we were able to keep it contained.
Can I ask what kind of magic, if you know?
A lot of ice. They were throwing a lot of ice. Had like a green lightning effect on it too. Lots of layered spells. They didn't make out too well because after we drove them out of the camp, we heard something blow pretty big, if you know what I mean. Like I say, don't trust those crystals much.
Oh, yeah, no, it sounds awful. Can you point out where that was?
Down the way a bit, by the water park.
Sure. Thanks very much. I guess we'll go check out that area, see if there's anything to find there.
As you leave this goblin and go to keep looking around other places, what you don't see is a woman with dyed gray silver hair and full blackout tattoos from her shoulders to her hands, speaking with a few of the other people who seem to have the beginner whispered tattoos. And they just seem to be chatting a few rows of tents back from where you and Damien are. Raven and Aiden, you two are following that tug of magic. And Amity, I'll say you as well. You like get a vantage point, and with your sight, you eventually also make out what you can gather might be the point of origin, because from within one of the tents is a bright source of magical light. And you fly over there and can reconnect with Aiden and Raven as they approach this tent, outside of which you see Trip and their little mouse Spirit sharing a granola bar and just sitting outside this tent. And Aiden and Raven, as you approach, there's clearly a brightly glowing something from within this person's tent.
And we have not met Trip, just Damien, right?
Just Damien.
Okay. Raven will approach very slowly and cautiously. Even if this doesn't feel super threatening, it's still very weird. And she'll just go, "Hi, I can't help but notice your tent is glowing."
They set the granola bar down next to their mouse and scratch at their chin, and they say, "Huh, you can see him too."
Oh yeah, whatever's in there's glowing. There's a lot of magic happening in there.
Yeah, there really is. You're the first.
Can other people not see it?
Yeah, nobody else I brought by even knew what was going on.
Huh. Can I ask what's in your tent that is doing that?
I'm not really sure. Never seen one before. It's napping right now.
Okay.
It's napping?
We can be very quiet. if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, not a big deal. They look you over. Are you like agency animal control?
Agency, yes. Animal control, no. We were in the area and noticed this huge glow of magic, and we just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Okay. A lot of you folks coming by these days. Yeah, you can go and look, I guess.
Is the tent like zipped currently? Raven will very, very slowly try to be very quiet since he said it was napping. Just very slowly and carefully unzip and like peek inside. She's not going in the tent. She just wants to look.
You see in the tent the creature that manifested in the dream that you and Aiden shared recently.
Oh!
Oh.
She's gonna unzip it a little more and like gesture for Aiden, like, "Come here, you need to see this."
She's like standing like just at the edge of like Trip's space. And she's just kind of like staring wide-eyed through the opening in the tent that you've unzipped.
I feel like very comedically, Amity is finding a window to just like stack themselves with Raven to like get a look. And just whispers like, "What is that?"
We saw this thing in the dream. It just showed up. We didn't call it there. It just appeared. And she's just gonna keep staring at it. She's trying to be quiet enough that Trip can't hear her say that because she's aware of how wild that sounds.
Yeah.
You're like a foot away from them. They're like on a little camp chair.
Oh, well.
They're hearing everything.
Hopefully Trip doesn't judge.
Amity straight up goes, "Wait, what dream?"
I'll explain later.
Okay.
Aiden will come over and she kind of kneels down next to you, Raven, and she says, "Wow." Fully speechless. She's just like watching this thing. And again, it is glowing so brightly to all of you that there's like, you can't make out details of its skin or face. It's like right now, it's just a little mound with the long neck sort of extending out from the otherwise equine or quadruped body.
Is it curled up all cute?
Kind of, its tail, its long tail, which extends and then also bursts into like what looks like either feathers or like a fluffy tuft at the end, is sort of like just wrapped in front of its face, where you see like the curving horns jutting out from the head. Trip at this point just kind of like comes over, squats next to you also. It's like, you're saying you dreamed this thing up?
Kind of. It's hard to explain, but have you ever heard of dream walking?
I had a buddy who went down Arizona, and there was like a cactus that they used.
No.
Sounded a little intense,
No.
and I don't have the bus ticket down there, so haven't tried it, but that's some powerful stuff.
It's a lot. It's a lot of imagination and manifesting, but also having a lot of mental control. And this creature kind of just appeared for us. Neither of us willed it into existence as everything else in the space did. And I didn't know it was real. We don't know what it is or why it's here in your tent in Seattle.
Well, that I couldn't tell you, but it does seem to like waffle crisp and Cheez-Its.
Do you know where it came from? Did you see it go into your tent?
I came home from the market and it was in my tent. Couldn't tell you why, other than being hungry, I guess.
There's no like rips or anything. It doesn't look like it broke its way in here.
Nah, tent's fine.
Huh. Maybe it knows how to use zippers?
You see there's like a little like head that pokes out of Trip's shirt as Fwee the mouse spirit like puts their head out and is like hanging on to their collar.
Oh,
I love Fwee.
Well, spirits, they can kind of go wherever.
it's true. I guess I didn't immediately consider it to be a spirit, but I guess that does make sense. Huh.
Super weird that you guys can see it though. Usually I'm the one seeing stuff, and then this kind of just ends up being me.
It's not that weird for me. I've been seeing this stuff since I was a little kid.
Me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how I met this guy.
Oh, that's how I met. And Whisper is like kind of settled somewhere around their feet.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she'll point out at them and go, that's how I met this guy. Sort of. It's a long story.
I think Wendy will jump up onto Raven's shoulder and she'll face Trip and just kind of gesture and like, we're kind of used to that.
They nod and they say, that's cool. Well, we can wake it up, I guess. It's up to you.
Maybe.
I feel kind of bad, but also I'm really curious.
Yeah, I think I want to try and talk to it.
I mean, you said it was in Raven's dream, right? Maybe Raven should talk to it?
I guess.
You got this. It's gonna be okay.
Raven's very nervous.
Mm-hmm. It's a big creature. This is the size of like a horse.
Oh, like a full-size horse?
Like a horse.
Oh, I was picturing smaller.
Like a whole ass
This is a
horse.
big tent.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I guess if it's also like on the ground.
Yeah.
Not as tall as a horse.
I suppose a horse is maybe too, maybe like a deer, like an adult deer.
Okay.
Still big,
That's
but yeah.
Yeah. That makes more sense. It's like a horse is not fitting in with a camping tent.
Yeah, you're right.
Not easily. Yeah, Raven will unzip the tent door the rest of the way and go inside and like sit down.
You step inside and sit down. And I think as soon as you sit down, there's like a ripple through this creature. And like literally it looks like a visual ripple sort of travels from like tip of the tail through the body. And then like when it gets to the face, eyes shoot open and look up. One is a dark brown and the other is a gold and amber.
Oh, okay.
And it raises its like long serpentine neck and looks at you. And again, the eyes are like the only other color to this thing other than the like pure white static energy aura. I say white, it's the silver color of your magic, minus a like slight golden core at like the front of its chest where like its forelegs extend from.
She will very gently hold a hand out to it, see if it reacts or seems like scared or nervous in any kind of way.
It seems curious and like extends its face towards your hand, and its like little snout brushes against your fingers a little bit tentatively.
she will stroke it on the top of its head between its horns and just go, "Hi."
It kind of leans into your hand a little bit, and then you see little like rounded ears perk up on the sides of its head, and then it pulls away quickly and sort of glances off in another direction and like is stuck frozen there for a minute, and then turns back to look at you, and you see its eyes fill with more of that bright silver magic, and it bristles with a pulse of energy and gets up onto all fours and then just leaps out of the tent without damaging the tent. It's almost like it's intangible, but it just leaps out the roof of the tent.
That could have gone worse.
Aiden backs up and like glances around the side of the tent, and the creature has galloped a few yards away from you all and is like looking out into the city and then looks back at all of you.
I feel like we should follow it.
I was gonna say, I think it wants us to follow them.
Aiden will get on comms. Whitaker, Damien, we found it.
All right, where are you? Is everyone okay?
We're good. We're leaving the park though. We're gonna follow it. It's moving.
Got it. Yeah, I'll be right on it. Do you need me to set up a perimeter?
I don't think we're gonna hold this thing. Get in touch with Hugo. Make sure we don't leave him behind.
At no point did anyone say it wasn't dangerous, so Whitaker is panicking. Whitaker will, he'll call Hugo.
Sure.
Tell him, hey, we're moving out.
Okay. What are you doing, Raven and Amity?
Raven wants to head back to her bike.
Amity has their staff, so Amity is going.
Yeah, you've got the best chance of following it immediately and efficiently.
Yep. Amity's just gonna straight up follow it.
I think Aiden will go with you. She's got her wings.
Oh, true, yeah. You guys go. I'll be right behind you.
When Aiden's wings manifest, Trip, their eyes go wide and they're like, oh, come on. Are you with them?
Oh.
With who? What?
Do you have tattoos? And Aiden goes, no, I'm not with them. And takes off.
I really like Trip, and so I think Raven is gonna look at him as soon as Aiden leaves, and she's just gonna go, she's the first light, she's the only celestial on Earth. I gotta go. It was really nice meeting you. Bye.
I love that. Thank you.
I don't want him to think like, oh, and I just helped this person that I really distrust. Like, it's different, I promise.
Yep.
Yeah, Amity just gets on their staff and is like, God.
As you like lift up into the air, Amity, you see the little mouse spirit like gives you a wave.
Oh.
She gives it a wave back.
Yep. And Chip says, ah, man, good luck. And they will stay behind. I think it's time to act under pressure, gal.
Ooh. All right, let's go.
I am detecting a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, gotta keep up with this creature.
So Whitaker can probably fairly easily follow Amity or Aiden. Here's a point that might get answered in a second, but can he see? Can anyone else see the thing? Dragon deer thing?
That's a good question.
You see Aiden and Amity chasing after nothing.
Oh,
Yeah,
weird.
baby.
Ooh.
Fucking weird.
Back to good old times. Ooh, I might break out the glasses for this. We'll see.
I will say,
No, I won't. It's a failure.
to act under pressure?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You don't get that from Whitaker very often.
Hey, mark XP.
I know, right?
Yeah, take some XP. Aiden rolled a 12.
Nice.
She's very cool and got a 9 on the dice.
Raven got a 13.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Amity rolled a 9.
A 9, okay.
Not bad.
Damien, did you roll?
Do you still want me to act under pressure or try to help Whitaker since I'm in the sidecar?
I mean, a help out would only get me to a 6. I rolled 2 1s.
Oof. I think the failure is going to translate as
He can't see what they're following and loses them immediately.
Yeah, there's that. I said I wasn't going to rush, so I really want to figure out what is the thing that makes sense that is bad about this for Whitaker. How did you do, Hugo? Did you act under pressure as well?
I didn't bother, but I can if you want me to.
Please do.
Is it safe to assume that he's on foot?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that means he does the other thing.
No broom broom, just zoom zoom.
Just zoom zoom. Which is a 10.
Nice.
You're fine. You're able to keep up. You also do not see what Aiden and Amity are chasing.
He just trusts at this point.
Whitaker, you get to your bike with Damien, and a dark car pulls up. And quickly getting out of it is a man in a light gray suit as Declan Stone comes running up towards you.
Oh no.
And he says, Just a minute. Agents, I have another update for you.
Give it to Bashir, she'll give it to me. I gotta go.
You have to see this now. This is important. And he pulls up his phone and shows you what looks like security camera footage from the Japanese garden.
Interesting.
Uh-oh.
He says, Ms. Bashir's unit's been working on tracking down anything that might link us and figure out what happened to Kevin. And we had this. I recognize the markings. Do you think these people might have gone after him? Looks like you didn't catch him, but you must have a way of tracking him down.
This is an active investigation, and I cannot discuss any details until anything is confirmed. I promise you, we are following up on all leads possible, and currently one is getting far away from us. So if you don't mind, I need to run.
Do you want me to stay with Declan and get more info while you drive off?
Above the table, does that feel good?
I'm scared for you because I don't trust him, but in the moment it feels kind of reasonable.
Yeah. It's my failure, though.
But he did slow you down and like throw you off.
Yeah.
You are slowed down. That is the fail mechanically that I am implying here, is that you are now being held up.
Sure. I guess my question is, I am not against being pulled from this fight. Durs, do you want to be pulled from this fight? Do you want to investigate this guy?
I am leaning towards investigating the guy, and I don't think this is really going to be a fight.
All right. This could be kind of fun.
Natalie wouldn't throw us in the middle of a fight. Getting the group together, that's not like the equivalent of setting up a save point with a whole bunch of ammo and med packs.
All I will say is that Declan says, I know your group apprehended someone else with these tattoos, and we actually have some folks at the center, the shelter, who've been trying to get their license to use those legally, but now I'm wondering, is the whole program in danger? What's going on? This just seems so suspicious with Fisher turning up like he did.
That is such a good question, Mr. Stone. I'm going to leave Agent Edgecrest here to go over your concerns while I follow up on this, but I promise you we are working on getting all of the information you need. And I will leave Damien with him, and I'm going to go zip off on my bike.
This is going to go so great.
I know.
It's going to go so well.
Damien concede nothing, and if we can get some agency tech on that phone to just delete that video, perhaps. maybe we'll do a little of that.
It's really only my second year as an agent. I hope nothing clumsy happens.
Good luck.
Oh my god, if you accidentally drop his phone in coffee, how fun would that be?
Oh, I can't believe it.
Just keep that one on the shelf.
On the shelf.
We don't got to do anything yet. He's just an innocent man asking some very concerned questions.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I don't trust this guy. I'm sorry.
I don't like this
I
man.
hate a man with concerns.
I just don't trust a man in politics. I'm really sorry.
I don't like how he just keeps showing up.
Yeah.
Would you trust the owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome? Would you?
No.
Not really.
Yeah, to be fair, no. I wouldn't either.
I don't think he's the big bad. I just don't like him.
He's got some vibes.
Before we pick up with the chase, Damien, is there anything you want to ask Mr. Stone, or are you just ready to go with him?
More go with him. I don't have good questions.
Okay. He turns to you and he says, well, I'm really glad I caught you. I was coming down here to ask some of the folks if they had any more information about Kevin, and if they'd maybe seen some of the people from this video. I have to assume something's going on, and maybe some of these folks are getting these markings or whatever and not really understanding the full breadth of what they're signing up for. So if you mind coming with me and maybe helping with some questioning, and then we can go back to my office and go over some more of the details that we pulled up in this report.
That sounds perfect. Yeah, lead the way. And I would love to hear about how you got all this video, what more you can get, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see what we can do to get more information.
All right, let's go. You and Declan head off to do some more questioning, which is a little, we'll get to it.
Yeah, what sort of second location did you have in mind?
Well, right now he's just walking through the encampment to ask folks. That's why he was here, but saw you guys and was like, oh, you're here. Let me ask, a nice bit of serendipity for him in that case.
Gotcha.
Hello, adventurers. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Storyteller Squad. This week, at time of publishing, we were running a little late, so we're giving you all a treat to make up for it. There is a bonus clip at the end of this episode. No, wait, I promise, don't make that face. it's not a scary epilogue like I sometimes do. It's a blooper clip, of sorts. It's just a little sneak peek behind the production curtains at the squad and I and our creative, collaborative process. I can't say much more without spoilers, so we'll move on from this. But I do hope you enjoy it. And thanks for being patient. We've been saying it all summer, and the fact that we're fully into autumn now is probably the biggest proof of it. But we've been really busy here at the Storyteller Squad. PAX West was a lovely trip. We got to hike Mount Rainier, so look out for pictures of that coming soon to our socials. And this weekend, I'm literally doing yet another convention. If you're a local New England fan and want to get some TSS merch or say hi in person, we have a table at Granite State Comic-Con in Manchester, New Hampshire, September 21st and 22nd. So much of our adventures this year are possible in part thanks to the generous support of our patrons. If you'd like to help us do more shows and maybe visit your city for an event, pledging just a little a month goes a long way towards helping us meet our costs and build out our resources for those sorts of events. Plus, you'll get access to our exclusive new talkback series, Good Morning Autumn Falls, where we discuss and answer questions as a Patreon-exclusive wrap-up to each arc. And there's a special preview channel in the community Discord where we show off the designs of new merch we have in development and other behind-the-scenes updates. However, there are plenty of ways you can engage and support the storytelling we do here that are completely free. Word of mouth is still the absolute best way to get new listeners to check out a show like ours. So tell a friend or community how much you love the show, and you might just have found yourself a new listening buddy. As you know by now, our socials are at Story Squad Cast, and we tend to make announcements there about upcoming appearances and projects. So find us on the platform you like best and follow us to stay up to date and see pictures of the squad out on our adventures in the real world. And lastly, if you can leave us a rating or review, that helps us and the algorithm know that the work we're doing is impacting your life in a positive way. We're working really hard to give you the best stories we possibly can, and reviews are a great way to send us some validation and brighten our day. That's all for this week, adventurers. See you next time. So, Raven and Amity and Aiden and Hugo and Whitaker, y'all are chasing this creature around. Now, I will say, for Hugo and Whitaker and Raven, this chase becomes a little frantic because in certain points, and Raven, you're the only one of the three that I just addressed who can see this, the creature, as it's running down the road, it will suddenly become just pure energy and sort of zip up into a telephone wire, and then it is galloping on the telephone pole wires up in the air.
Oh, shit.
What in the fuck?
I will say I rolled higher than a 12, and Act Under Pressure is advanced for me.
Yep, which is good because you can see it, and you having such a high roll is going to help Hugo and Whitaker also keep up. You're able to relay,
Yes.
Okay, it's taking a jump down, it just flew over the bank. All right, we got to follow me, and zooming around on your bike. Aiden and Amity, being aerial support, are also relaying directions. So we just get a bunch of chatter of as this thing runs through the city and you all pursue it, weaving in and out of traffic on your bikes, Hugo zipping along with snipe speed and Amity on your staff. Would anyone like to describe a cool chase moment that they do? Just so I'm not summarizing it too much.
I don't have a moment, but Whitaker is getting increasingly frustrated having to run back and forth through intersections. Where the fuck is this thing?
Is Whitaker on a bike or is he on foot?
Biking it up.
Okay.
We got 2 motorcycles, Hugo speed, Amity and Aiden flying.
Can I do something weird?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Amity would see Whitaker struggling to keep up, especially driving through intersections, and just without asking, is going to enchant the bike so that it'll fly.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Now that's an idea.
That is an idea. All right.
In the middle of him complaining.
Roll use magic.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, what's another heart attack on this man? What's one more?
He'll be fine. It's a 10 total.
No glitch. Just happens.
No glitch.
Nice.
You don't know exactly what it is, but Amity kind of dives down, to be just a little bit above you, Whitaker, you see them reach into their bag and apparently into like a pocket or a pouch or something, and they have some sort of powder or dust in their hands, and they literally sprinkle it over you like fucking pixie dust and go, give that a try, and then takes off, and then the bike starts to levitate.
Oh my god. Fuck did you just do? Amity, how do I control this?
Like a bike!
Like a bike!
Duh.
Whitaker, this is your fail. As your bike lifts into the air, you have no idea how to control pitch, yaw, or any of the other aeronautical terms.
All the really important ones in this situation.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of swearing on the comms right now. And he still can't see the fucking thing.
God. No, you can't. And now you're also dealing with the issue of trying to pilot a now magical flying motorcycle.
Not any trees or power lines or birds.
Have fun drawing that one, Emery.
I just want the camera to cut for a moment to an intersection far ahead of where you all are, and running perpendicular to the surface of a large skyscraper, the creature just galloping along the glass of the windows, followed quickly by Aiden, gold wings, then Raven on the bike, Hugo snipe speed right behind Raven, then Amity with the blue fire, their staff, and then just fucking Whitaker doing loop-de-loops on a motorcycle. Fuck, shit! Oh, God!
Oh my god.
He's doing like a corkscrew through the air.
Yeah.
Just fully upside down for a little bit and then flips right side up again.
Yeah.
Real Team Whitaker blasting off again. Am I right, boys?
Oh my god.
It's definitely one of those scenes where we see it from the POV of someone just standing on the sidewalk waiting for the light to change so they can cross, and they just watch all of this go by.
Someone just sitting in traffic.
Just some kid walking their dog and their ice cream cone just like drops out of their hand. Oh my gosh!
We're doing great.
Doing wonderful. All right, yeah, that's awesome.
That's great.
That's my gift to you.
Delicious.
Beautiful bit of whimsy. Perfect. Okay, Raven, as you are sort of leading the pack with Aiden, I think she calls down over comms to you as you're like, trying to keep up after this thing. And she says, what happened when you touched it?
I pet it. It seemed to like it. And then it almost like it heard something. It got startled, and I think it's going after whatever it noticed.
Did you feel anything else like before?
No, just the pull of the magic. And then it looked at me with terrifyingly human eyes that were very familiar, but it seemed friendly towards me.
Okay. Oh God. She has to like dive under like a set of traffic lights that she was like not quite paying attention, just sort of like flying along talking to you.
You hear horns blaring as Raven goes through a yellow light, like cutting it a little close.
Yeah. Aiden just like her wings like retract. She becomes like a spiraling little like projectile, and then just like throws them out at the last second before she hits the pavement and soars upwards again. But yeah, you chase after this thing. It eventually stops and pauses at an intersection, just sort of all four of its little hooves perched on top of like a lamppost. Its long tail spiraling down and wrapping around to stabilize itself, but sort of perched up there like a mountain goat. And its eyes locked straight ahead on these two huge glass structures, these massive orbs that look like greenhouses. Brittany is smiling because she has seen these things.
And I'm trying to remember what the stupid nickname it is that people call them in the city.
I'm pretty sure they're just called the spheres.
There was a less nice name for them, but I think it might have just been the balls.
Yeah. They're the Amazon spheres. Here, I will grab just a quick image for folks who didn't come with us to Seattle last year. That's what this thing is stopped in front of and is looking into very intently.
Raven will park her bike. She pulls like a cool Akira slide.
Nice, yeah. Aiden will also land and perch on a lamppost herself, so that she's like just across from this thing in the intersection and can like watch it. She darts her eyes over to the spheres and she's like, all right, now what?
We see what it does.
The creature looks to the two of you. Hugo, you arrive. Whitaker, your bike the pixie dust is like wearing off just in time for you to kind of bounce, land on the, the actual road and pull up next to Raven.
Also, Akira slides.
The Akira stumble.
Just a little more bumpy.
I don't know if it's an Akira slide. It might be a chitty chitty bang bang.
Yeah, that's a little closer.
That seems correct.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And Amity are there as well.
Yeah, she just hovers.
Once you're all there, Aiden will try and reach her hand out, and the creature sort of regards her, and she will take off and flutter through the intersection to go over near it and place a hand on its head, and does the same thing it did to you, Raven, where it sort of just nestles its head into her hand, and she says, What are you? And the creature then sort of pulls away. Its eyes go to the spheres again, and I think its whole body does that like ripple flicker, like a bit of static traveling through a screen, and it roars like it did in the dream, Raven.
Oh.
And all of you who cannot see this, you do hear, Whitaker and Hugo, the roar of a dragon ring out in this intersection. And this thing, which appears to have like almost like a mane down its long neck, all of that is standing on end and bristling with energy. So it's much spikier looking than when it was like napping in the tent. And it leaps from its perch on the lamppost, becomes energy, and just flies into the structure of the spheres and is out of your sight.
And it's like nighttime, right? Because we went over
It's like late afternoon.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought we went to Karla's for like dinner.
Even if it was like 4 or 5 o'clock, like it's still like sunset hours, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's not super, super late.
Yeah. It's not evening. It's dusk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aiden looks to you, Whitaker, and she says, "We should order an evac.
Of the spheres?
We don't know what this thing is doing.
I don't know what it's doing. What's going on?
I really don't know.
It roared and then it went inside.
We're chasing something we saw in a dream."
Grand. All right, I'll call an evac for that.
We were dreamwalking with Corey in one of my nightmares, and none of us called this creature. It just showed up, and now it's here in real life.
And it's dangerous.
We have no idea.
It's unpredictable.
It seems to like us well enough, but we have no idea what its motivations are or where it came from or what it can do other than run really fast and turn into electricity and travel through phone wires. And it looks like a small, adorable dragon and also has kind of scary eyes.
I cannot see this. I'm gonna put my glasses on just in case.
Even with the glasses, nothing.
Weird.
That's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot see this. Where needs to be evacuated?
Just point to the spheres. It went in there.
All right.
It can kind of go through walls, as many spirits can.
Just tell me if it starts attacking anyone. Whitaker is having a chill one.
Yeah.
Having a good and fun time.
Yeah, he's gonna call in like a gas leak or something.
You really don't have to cover it like that anymore. Post-revelation, you know?
Yeah, but no one can see it.
Well, yes.
We could say that it's a spirit, and it would make sense that some people can't see it.
A ghost, unexplained phenomena.
We've got a spiritual gas leak.
Is the place open?
Not to the public, but there are certainly people inside. I think Aiden just says to you, Whitaker, maybe just close down the intersection for a little bit. I'm going to go after it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Okay. Who else is going with Aiden into the spheres?
Amity's going.
Amity's coming. Raven's coming.
I think the gals who can all see the thing should go pursue the thing.
Yeah.
I'm just in case Hugo wanted to come too. Or...
Nope. He will be no help there.
Okay.
Hugo said, nah.
All right, yeah. We'll watch as the three of you rush in to the spheres. When you get inside, people ask, hey, what are you doing? You flash badges. It's the agency. Amity, you're luckily able to just sort of like follow in behind Aiden and Raven. And once 2 badges get flashed, they're not looking for a third. And yeah, people start to leave. We see agency. We can say that like Agent Lake's team arrives, Whitaker, to help you with like shutting down the block. So Agents West, Virgil, Echo, and Lake are like at different intersections, like putting up barricades with other agency support to like shut everything down. It goes on for a little while. And while you guys are in the spheres, Raven or Amity, one or the other, Please read a bad situation.
Who's better at this? We should be strategic.
It's not me.
Oh, it's sharp. I can do it.
It's so not me.
Okay, that's a 10.
Okay. What questions do you want to know?
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? And I think what's most vulnerable to me?
Okay. You guys go into the spheres. There's many different elevated walkways that travel between the lush greenery in here. There's many levels to these structures with different places for people to sit and work, hold meetings and that sort of thing. Everything's sort of all crisscrossing walkways and whatnot with lots of vines growing on different designed gardens in here. As people are being evacuated, you see this creature has stopped and is sort of pacing back and forth in an area that is much more garden than anything else. And we see, once you sort of follow it into this greenery area, that it is cautiously observing another figure.
Like another person?
Well, no, not quite.
Oh!
What you see is a being comprised of plant matter. Not the way that the Leshy are. This has more green to it than the dark brown stick and bark texture that most of the Leshy are. You catch, because it is in like side profile to you, that its face is like the many overlapping tight layers, like the base of a budding flower, with colorful red and magenta petals blossoming in a fashion like hair or a long trailing headdress, with succulent leaves and growths that add sort of like a fringe and frame its face. There are two dark eyes with yellow cornea that stare out from an otherwise featureless face.
Oh, great. Love this.
Extending from base of their neck, out of the bursting colorful petals, are two long, snaking vine tendrils which end in sharp-toothed maws of large carnivorous plants.
Okay.
Their body is covered in some sections of bark material, under which twitches and writhes a greater mass of braided, coiled, shifting vines acting like muscle fibers. From the shoulders, masses of these tendrils extend, almost as if their what would be arms have unbraided and unspooled to just be many, many, many loose tendrils that sort of twist and curl and manipulate small things as it draws runes on a large tree that has been placed in here. The dragon is staring at this thing aggressively, but cautiously, like it's not sure what to do. But it seems very agitated that this other creature is here, and looks back to the three of you.
Question.
Yeah.
Does Amity recognize any of the runes?
Yes, they're summoning runes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
The plant-like creature, which is the answer to your, are there any dangers we haven't noticed? Notices it's being watched and sinks some of the tendrils slowly into the ground at its side, and bursting from the ground where the dragon is are 5 Leshy that just and begin to lash and wrap around the dragon and restrain it. What's most vulnerable here is the creature that led you to this place.
Oh no.
We're going to cut away. I would like everyone except Durs to take their headphones off.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Fuck.
Oh, we're doing this again. All right, good luck, buddy.
Oh, you
I'm
little...
rooting for you. This is fucking rude, Natalie. I never thought I'd have to experience this, and yet here we are. This fucking sucks.
Surprise.
All right, let's fucking go. Good luck, Durs. I love you.
Have
I'm
fun.
sorry I let you get kidnapped.
I'm so afraid.
Can't wait
My
to see
baby
what your
boy
new character is.
off to do his own little investigation.
All right, get off the call.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Damien.
So I imagine the councilman is excited to go to the tent city and question people, but Damien sort of turns to him and says, we've actually been here for quite a few hours, asking questions, following leads. Do you think we could head back to your office or have a place where we could sit down and chat? I'd like to get more information about this video that you have and where you got it, and just so we can add it to our investigation and follow up on things later.
I think he would insist on asking some questions while here, but if you bring this up halfway through after you've questioned a few of the people about stuff, he will say, perhaps you're right. We're not really making much headway. Seems some of the folks here have a wrong impression about the Foundation and what we're doing. So it's been harder getting folks to buy into the program for them to get their license and that sort of thing. But yeah, we can head back to my office. I'll get the car, pull around. We'll take it back.
I'd appreciate that.
You step into the car, and once you're in there, the two of you in the back seat, he gives directions to the driver. And he says, now, Agent Edgecrest?
Yes. Yeah, but you can call me Damien. That's fine.
Right. Declan. Nice to meet you, Damien. What I'd like to know is, why didn't your group apprehend or even question this group who were fighting with the Leshy at the gardens last night?
Oh, I see what's happening. You're seeing some powerful forces out there, and it's hey, why isn't the agency doing these job and rounding these people up, making sure they have licenses and everything? I can understand your concern. That probably doesn't make us look very good, but I want to, and Damien will sort of look to the left and look to the right, and sort of lean in close and whisper, we have some undercover operations that we're trying to keep on the down low to try to get some real information about what's going on. We do keep our departments a little separate to protect the information that we get, but you can rest assured that this group is okay. And actually, the more we can stay away and let them do their thing, the better.
He nods and seems to appreciate you divulging this. And he says, I see. Okay, then let me change my line of questioning. I'd like to know who exactly this cell of Whispered are, and if they're the ones who have been giving out the magic of that group to folks in the city.
Well, I'd have to put you in touch with another agent to figure out how much of our information to divulge. You understand, of course.
I do. I'm afraid I must insist. Damien, you feel compelled to answer his question truthfully.
Ooh. And can you say the question so I can try really hard to answer it without answering it?
I am telling you, Damien, you are being dominated.
Oh.
You must tell him who the group of Whispered is, if they are the ones giving out tattoos to people, and the angle of their operation as much as you understand it.
Cool. Absolutely. Damien can do those things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a player, I have to ask how I can fight this sort of thing.
It's perfect that it's you, Damien, because I'm going to tell you right now. Do you recall how your mental dominion power used to work?
Yes.
That's what's happening.
Cool. So, can Damien, because if we're in a nice chauffeured car, they have little water bottles. Mm-hmm. Can Damien grab one of the water bottles and answer it while he's drinking?
No.
Okay.
Listen, I wanted you to squirm a little bit, but I'm telling you right now, you have been fully mentally dominated. Damien has slipped into something I did not have planned, but has now become a narrative beat. This is happening.
All good.
So play up the I'm being mind controlled in your delivery as much as you'd like.
Karla Hernandez is in charge of this group of the Whispered with her daughters Gabriella, Mercedes, and Fernanda. They have shared their Whispered magic with hundreds of people in the city of Seattle.
Interesting. That is incredibly helpful, Agent Edgecrest. I must thank you for your cooperation. This is going to help the work that my team and the Foundation are doing go much smoother. Oh, it seems we're here. You're going to forget that we had this conversation, and remember that I heard about the issue happening over here at the Spheres, and we were kind enough to drop you off so you could join your team. Best of luck fighting against Kikimura.
Thank you. And can Damien grab one of the water bottles as he leaves the car?
Sure, I'll let you do that.
Perfect.
Declan Stone's car pulls up to the intersection that is being closed off. Being a government vehicle, they're able to get closer to the barricade than anyone else. But the door opens, you exit, and you can see Agents Virgil and Lara West. Lara in her raptor form.
Get back! You can't pass through here.
Back it up, folks. We've got an emergency situation on our hands. We'd appreciate your cooperation while we evacuate this block.
But you see your agency allies protecting what seems to be a big to-do over at the Spheres. And I think maybe you catch glances of Whitaker and Hugo maybe waiting a little closer to the structure. So you can run over and help. And to clarify on a meta level above the table doors, Damien forgets everything that happened just now. You got a clue. I'm gonna need you to keep the secret.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Okay, that's what happens. Holy shit. I did not expect this to be an addition to the episode. All right, we'll jump back into it. You're gonna be here for this fight, and we'll move things along. Welcome back, everyone.
I don't trust it.
I never think about bugging my coworkers, but I should more often.
I never think about putting a bug on Damien, but I really should.
Dang.
I should. I don't trust anyone but myself.
Oh no!
We've heard that before.
We have.
In a weird way, bugging Damien wouldn't be out of distrust for Damien. It would be out of care for his safety. You just slip a tile in his pocket so you can find his location in case he gets lost.
Yeah, bugging Damien is like putting one of those baby
child monitors on.
Child monitors, yeah.
You go to have this conversation with Damien, and he's already like, oh no, I already bugged myself. I am so forgetful. Being able to go a replay and second listen over these things. People give you an address one time and expect you to remember it. No fucking way. I'm going over the re-recordings.
People recite their phone number once quickly and think you got it the first time. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Damn, Damien, you're doing this human thing better than I am.
Whitaker, Damien rushes up to you.
Oh, he's here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's here ready to help.
Oh.
Sorry. The way you fucking set your jaw, Emery.
The spirit of Whitaker possessed you for a moment.
I'm not saying I didn't deserve it, but holy shit.
The spirit of Emery possessed Whitaker. Whitaker is unsuspicious.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
This is normal. This is fine.
Oh,
Nothing
you made it.
weird happened.
Yep. There we go. We're back in.
We're back in.
Whitaker, you see Damon running up to you, being dropped off by Declan Stone.
Glad you made it in time. We're doing an evac of the area. The girls saw something fly into the glass dome. They're chasing something we can't see. I don't know if you can see it, but it's weird, and we're just doing an evac right now, so stay outside for the moment until something happens.
Okay, Roger.
What did Declan have to say?
We questioned some people at the tents, and that's all I remember. Heard about the spheres, so we came right here.
Yeah, that's good and normal. All right.
So
do
normal.
Is this yours?
What?
The water bottle.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll let it slide.
No, don't ask about it. I'm just kidding.
Please.
It's a plastic water bottle.
Oh.
It's not like a bought one.
Oh my god. What if I just chugged it? What would happen? Would I die? Would I die immediately?
Okay.
I know. I'm like, I want to engage with this without, being weird.
I know. But hey, you know what? Stay outside until something happens. You hear radioing in over the comms, Whitaker, Aiden's panic voice as she says,
Whitaker, Eyes on a new creature. It's attacking the spirit we've been following. We need you in here.
We're in. We'll let the city take care of the evac. Let's go, boys.
Agent Lake gives you a nod and says,
We'll take care of crowd control, Whitaker. Your team can handle whatever's inside.
Love you guys. Let's fucking go. Hugo, you coming in? Your call. You don't have to.
No, civilian, you should get out of here.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, I should probably get out of here.
Let's go.
He's gonna go somewhere else.
Hell yeah, dude.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Back inside, ladies. This glowing creature has been attacked by a bunch of Leshy.
Let's go, girls.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry. You can't say that line to me because my brain immediately goes to Shania Twain's Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Good. It should. Everybody said, let's go, boys. And I was on mute, and it took every fiber of my being to not just be like, and I settled for just also saying, let's go, girls.
Shout out to my mom because that's her go-to karaoke song.
It's a great song. Shout out to Shania Twain.
It's a good song.
Hey, Shania Twain, if you're listening.
We love you.
Thanks for getting all the way to season 3.
We hope you like it.
Oh.
No, I want to fight this plant creature. It's attacked my new best friend.
Yeah.
Who's going first and what move?
We're using magic to kick some ass.
I mean, very, very specifically in this case, protect someone is like right there.
Oh, yeah.
Am I good at that? No, but I will try anyway.
Okay, roll protect someone, Raven.
If you want to kick the big guy's ass, I will protect the small, defenseless creature.
I think instinctively she'd be a little stupid and go to try to protect the creature, even though the strategic move would be to try and fight the thing.
That is fine.
It's a 7. It could have been worse. I rolled a 6 and a 1, and I have 0 tough.
Aiden rolls a 10 to help you out, but she already rolls a 10 to help you out because power of love.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to bump it to a 12. It's okay. Protect someone, if you get a mix, just means that you will protect them okay, but you'll suffer some or all the harm they were going to get. Here's what I want. Flavor, pull a card. Tell me what you're pulling out, Raven.
Oh, I am pulling a card.
Well, I want to start flavoring your actions as quick casting your spirits to get stuff. So, like, just pick something that you're doing with a spirit to be able to protect the dragon. We'll skip past the, like, need to keep rolling that move all the time.
Mm-hmm. See, I want to say the raptor spirit would be really cool, but I also didn't roll really high, and so I don't know if you'll let me pick based on coolness.
No, that's cool. If you want to use the raptor spirit, that's fun.
I'll do that. She's emotional in this, and I think fire suit works.
You know what's fun? You draw a card and it just ends up being the raptor, and like it's funny that you've been hanging out with Laura West.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Laura, their raptor head lifts up, their nostrils flare.
Sibling?
As you summon a prehistoric raptor spirit. I think your raptor spirit, will say, is like a scientifically accurate raptor. So it's got like the feathers made of fire and like a little like flaming snipe creature of sorts.
Yeah.
What sort of like power up are you taking from this? Is it magical girl transformation? Is it a weapon? Is it just like casting of a monster?
I think for this specifically, it's like quick casting as like an ally.
Sure. Raptor spirit appears. They see the creature being attacked and just give that like low raptor growl. Dash forward, tap, 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 leap in the air, and they'll tackle a Leshy off the dragon. And I think while your raptor spirit bites into one and is leaving like flaming scorch marks as it like tears at the vines making up the Leshy's body, another Leshy will abandon the dragon and turn on you with thorn whipping vines that just sort of start to lash and rake at you, which is 2 harm.
So I take 1 less. And then are we saying that I am not in my Eastie agent suit? I imagine I didn't wear it to the dinner with Karla.
Really? You wouldn't have just geared up for the workday and then worn it?
No, I guess.
Whitaker wore his.
Everyone else is in theirs, yeah.
That's true. All right. So I reduced that to 0 then because I was protecting someone and I have my suit.
Cool.
Sweet.
You're dodging and rolling out of the way as you and the raptors take on some of these Leshy. That, you know, it is lashing you with these thorns, but they just like dig into the fabric, and Phoebe's masterful design protects you. Amity, what are you doing?
2 trains of thought. Natalie, how big are these Leshy? Are these like big boys or are these little baby boy Leshy?
These are like the humanoid-sized Leshy. They range from like 5 to 6 feet tall.
Okay. Our little plant buddy who's carving runes, I'm not trusting it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
We want to disrupt that. We're gonna trust Aiden to look after Raven. Yeah, we're gonna go square up with the big boy.
Amity,
Yeah.
prepare for another wizard fight.
Oh, fuck me.
I am so glad Amity's squaring up with this thing and not me.
God damn it.
In fact, Amity, could you roll plus sharp?
Sure. I got a -1 to sharp, but sure. Aha, that's a 5.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I get to mark experience. One away, baby.
Ooh, here's a fun idea for failing forward.
Okay.
Amity,
Uh-huh.
you seeing this thing and seeing what it's able to manipulate with the plant life in here,
Uh-huh.
I think recalls something that you've maybe been hoping wasn't the case. But we will flash back very briefly to a lesson with you and the Morrigan.
Ooh.
We see you and Morgan are sort of sitting on the edge of a mountainside. They are saying to you in their whispered voice that has like the echo of crows and ravens beneath it. There are many spirits and witches in the world that rival my strength. You would be wise to ally or avoid them. You and Morgan are walking up a mountain path
Okay.
to a conclave of spirits and witches. This is one of the first times one of your teachers has brought you to like a gathering of sorts,
Mm-hmm.
where there are going to be lots of spirits here who are just sort of going to be communing and communicating about the world and like what they're up to. It's not a meeting of entities who all agree or are aligned, but it is a nonetheless important meeting to attend, because to not would show weakness. As you're coming up the mountain path, have maybe asked the Morgan, like, who do I have to be really careful of here? And the Morgan says to you, many of the spirits here will be focused on trying to disrupt my footing. But there is one who looks for weakness in all who attend. Hers is the domain which grows and reclaims that which the humans abandon. You must be on your guard when dealing with Kikimura, the plant witch. And Amity, you recall as you sat on this tribunal of spirits and witches, this creature with her face of wrapped leaves, the dark eyes, the neck tendrils that end in these like biting flytrap mouths, and the long arm tendrils that would sometimes form into hands and then sometimes disperse and become the many, many individual strands. A terrifying spirit of nature. And she is here, fucking with the city of Seattle, it seems. And the one behind the Leshy and their creation.
Great. Cool.
You can still just roll kick some ass.
Yeah. My question is there any sort of agreement between witches and spirits in order to mitigate conflict? Maybe something like that to invoke? Is that a thing?
Like a parlay?
Yeah, I guess.
I think if you want to talk to this entity, you can certainly attempt that, but I don't think there is like a standing agreement like that. But I will say, Kikimura is not, they're not moving to attack you. It's just the Leshy are trying to restrain the dragon. Now that she's summoned them, she's sort of turned back and her focus is now back on the runes she was shaping on the tree here.
So in that case, I think to start, they just call out, Kikimura, why are you here?
You see it shifts and focuses on you. One of the carnivorous maws extends out towards you, and a voice emanate from within. And it says, I am here because I am bound to this task. Do not interfere, little witch. You will regret it.
Bound by who?
I cannot invoke the name
of the one who holds my contract.
I know, it's very scary. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You see she continues and is nearly done, it seems, crafting this summoning incant.
Can I tell what she's trying to summon? If I'm closer and able to see?
Maybe if you roll plus weird.
Let's fucking go. That is a 10.
This is a big summoning circle, Amity. Like really big.
Right?
That's probably used for summoning bunnies and rainbows
Totally.
and unicorns, I imagine, and
Yeah.
like really good positive things.
Yeah.
If Kikimara is working on these runes, I think what Amity will do is summon little motes of blue magical fire and launch them at random runes to like disrupt the summoning to sort of delay it.
Okay.
And she says, I'm sorry, I'm gonna need more information than that.
Roll use magic.
That is double sixes plus 3.
Hell yeah.
Whoa! Okay.
You disrupt some of her runes with the blue fire. And now she turns on you, her tendrils sort of flaring like vipers.
I do have it as advanced.
Yeah,
I
and
just want to point that out. It just says on a 12 plus, the keeper will offer you some added benefit. But just
So Natalie, like,
I don't know.
in case you want to end
So
this
you know.
fight right here,
it's just some added benefit.
please don't kill me.
just let you know.
Let's see. Yeah, I've got an added benefit.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
She goes to reach for you, and 20 of these tendrils that, again, start at where her shoulders are and then just drape down, all lash towards you.
I'm scared enough as it is, but go on.
You are warned.
And as the tendrils reach towards you, Whisper will crawl up your shoulder and then down to like the front end of the staff. Their tail flares and will create a shield to block these tendrils from reaching at you. They hit the blue fire and are singed and immediately recoil and retract. Kikimara will, as they pull back, the vines start to knot and twist and tie themselves together and form arms. And she will simply reach into the bark of this tree, tear down it, and now Leshy begin to leap out of it.
God fucking damn it.
More small ones, but a bunch of them are now rushing out. And as this horde of them run towards Aiden and Raven, Aiden rolled a 7 to try and fight the Leshy that are dealing with the dragon. She deals a bunch of harm to them, but now there are way more of them, and they sort of swarm her and Raven and push you guys back. The dragon, which you managed to free for just enough time, backs away from the Leshy horde as it rushes forward, glances outside, glances at the two of you, and becomes lightning and disappears out the building again.
Okay.
Honestly, fair. I would also do the same, but I'm not gonna.
It's probably for the best.
The Leshy horde starts to hit Raven and Aiden and drive them back and start to overwhelm them. Hey boys, dramatic entrance time.
I guess Whitaker's coming in. Sword out.
Heck yeah.
Damien, you want to grab the ones on Raven? I'll grab the ones on Aiden.
On it.
Roll kick some ass.
Hell yeah. Kick some ass?
Or protect someone if that's what you want to do.
I think I am protecting someone. It's a 9, so I take some harm.
I think your armor will protect you from these Leshy's thorny vines.
Sure will.
You have 3, right?
Yep.
That'll do it. Damien?
What are your thoughts on the new rote being hot sauce flame breath?
I love that.
Okay, then I can
Yes.
flavor and deliver the scene.
Yeah.
Flavor, you say?
That's spicy, my guy.
Keep them coming.
So Damien pulls some hot sauce packets out of his pocket and rips with his teeth the tops off and just squirts the whole, like all 3 of them into his mouth at the same time. and you can tell it's hot and it's spicy, and it starts to eyes water and cry as he's running over to Raven, and he has to try to stretch his mouth real big because he's carving runes with his tongue into the hot sauce. So the hot sauce is getting in every nook and cranny in his mouth and all over his tongue. And it's slowly getting down the throat as he shoulder checking Leshy out of the way. And then in one big open mouth, that just flames leap out and start torching.
Very cool. Are we saying this is just like the burn everything move?
Ooh.
Because that's also a hex move if you just want to take that move, right?
Yeah. All the tags for that were like loud, obvious, big. So that's perfect.
Okay. Did you succeed on the magic roll, or?
Yes, we are 8.
Okay.
The glitch is going to be the 1 point of hot sauce damage.
Okay. You take 1 harm, but burn everything.
Burn everything. When you use magic to inflict harm, you can choose to inflict 3 harm, area, magic, obvious. Or 3 harm, ignore armor, magic, obvious. But we're just going to go 3 harm, area.
Cool. Yeah, I think with 3 harm in that area, you light these Leshy as they rush forward and like hit a huge swath of them, which are now on fire and sort of waving their tendrily vine-like limbs around. Amity,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Amity would take her staff, sort of draw a big circle in the air with it, and then blow through it like into a bubble wand, and magical bubbles would start flying out and trying to encase some of the Leshy to just like hold a few of them back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm guessing, is this another use magic?
Yeah, this is use magic.
Aha. Wait, is that a mix? I think that's a mix. No, that's a 10.
Nice.
No glitch again.
No glitch again. You send out these bubbles of force that boom, boom, just like swallow the Leshy and sort of trap them there. Kikimora is frustrated by this, but you see she takes one of her long clawed hands, plunges it into her own chest, and pulls out a glowing crystal.
Not a green one.
Shit.
You know what color it is.
Oh.
She looks at her half-finished summoning spell and slams the crystal into this tree.
Fuck.
That's not good.
The seafoam green lightning crackles up the trunk and down into the roots of this tree. The summoning runes that were left by your spell also pulse once with sort of a light green energy, then pulse again with the seafoam green. We see as Kikimora descends to the ground here, her leaves and vines and branches are starting to wither.
What have you done?
What I must.
And this form of Kikimora dries up like an old corn husk and falls into the greenery of the garden here. And this tree, which is now thrumming and crackling with the green energy, eyes appear on this tree, and growing from the trunk like a branch rapidly extending and extruding itself is a draconic head. A mouth of sharpened, splintered wood opens, almost as if you'd torn the wood of the tree apart and left it there to create the fangs of this serpentine, dragon-like shape. And other branches bend down, the snapping of boughs and the moving of foliage to form large clawed feet. And this tree stands a enormously tall forest dragon of sorts. It's unlike Jay in its build and proportions, but it is definitely a monster of incredible size. And it flies forward at you, Amity, with this large mouth of teeth.
Cool.
As you are like there on the ground, begging Kikimora, like, what did you do?
Cool. So cool. So cool.
It did say it was a big summoning circle.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
That's a big boy for sure.
And now it is stone powered as well.
That's wonderful. Stone powered, you say?
Mm.
Declan Stone, my conspiracy board.
Crystals are a kind of stone. This man's last name is Stone. Crossing the lines.
It's all connected.
Jesus Christ. What's happening now, gang? There is a dragon that is attacking Amity.
Oh my god.
I think Raven's raptor spirit looks up at this thing and takes a little step back, like,
Oh,
whoa.
Yeah, I think so. I think Aiden takes a step back. She's got both her wings out now, but she kind of like looks to you like, oh boy.
Yeah. Raven was like brushing a little bit of like burning ember from Damien's breath attack, just like off her jacket, and then also just slowly looks up in awe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am never doing that again. As Damien's like wiping the tears out of his eyes and he's turning to face Aiden and Raven and he sees you two take the step back.
Just looking straight up.
And then he turns, head goes up higher and higher.
Raven just puts a hand on his shoulder. Thanks for having my back. Sorry it hurts.
It's fine. As he takes another handful of hot sauce packets out of his pocket. It'll be fine.
All right, team, pull it together. Fire, ice, and everything nice. Let's fucking go.
Whitaker, are you leading the charge?
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Actually, he calls out, Aiden, could I get a boost? Like a meteor-sized boost.
She glances at this thing, looks at you with your sword, and she says, oh, I really hope you stretched. And she'll grab the harness that like holds all your armor on, and she will toss you in the air to give you height on this massive monster as its head comes down, going to chomp at Amity.
Oh, huge arcing swipe of the blade. He's dialed in. The runes are blasting blue, and he's gonna come right down on that neck.
Okay. Roll kick some ass.
And if I deal harm, I'm going to try and aim for a weak spot.
Ooh, with precise strike?
My precise strike, you're correct.
Ooh.
It's a 9. Could I get a help out from Aiden?
Hey, you could get a help out from Aiden, yeah. Let's see. That's a 13.
Whoa.
Is that advanced?
Which means you technically have a 12, because her help out is advanced.
All right, so let's just fucking go for it. Let's do, do I have kick some ass as advanced? I do. We are going to inflict double harm.
Yeah, okay. This is this part of the game. Oh, shit. Yep.
And precise strike is damage on top of that. That doesn't also get doubled, does it? That would be insane.
If we want to follow in the footsteps of Monsters Playbook and Casey Davis, roll precise strike now.
Bro, are you kidding me?
You must remember, when you smite, you double that damage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Okay. So roll tough again. It's another 9 plus 1 harm. So that's a base of 4, because Damocles is 3 harm, plus 1 for precise strike. Doubled that for advanced kick some ass. So that'll be 8 harm coming down on this fucker.
Holy shit.
That's my dad.
That's all our dad.
That's Ross damage numbers.
Let's fucking go.
There's not just one agent with a big sword on the agency roster anymore.
That's right.
Very cool, yeah. You get tossed in the air. Aiden gives you this boost with her super angelic strength. You swing down, 8 damage. You behead this creature.
Fuck yeah.
As it is like coming for Amity, and it just sort of falls to the ground. And you land next to Amity. Gracefully-ish.
That bit doesn't have to be graceful.
The sword helps you not destroy your knees.
Does a little tuck and roll and grimaces a bit.
Aiden only helps with going up. She doesn't catch him.
Nah. Fuck. You alright? He looks at Amity.
Yeah, fine. Thanks. Are you okay?
Good. Are the other Leshies still running around?
There were a few, yeah.
The other Leshy
Oh god.
run towards this beheaded creature. As they are running, each of them, as they pass you, Whitaker, you see them reach into their chests.
Oh no.
You've got to be fucking kidding
and
me.
pull out the crystals that they have been holding on to distribute as spell component dealers.
Shit.
Oh, I hate this.
And as they run, they start to wither and creak and break apart, but they slam crystals into the body of this creature, which then crackle and are absorbed into the wood. At least 6 Leshy managed to do this before Aiden and the rest of you are able to cut them down and stop them. And the body of this thing, which you have beheaded, starts to crackle again with the lightning of the crystals. And we see one of the limp, draconic hands dig into the tile floor of the spheres.
Oh no.
Another does the same, and it starts to force itself up, the stump of the neck rising into the air and splitting. And in the tradition of Pando, the largest organism on the planet, a tree which cloned itself many times, a sprouting of 6 draconic heads.
Excuse me?
Spread from the neck. This thing also grows in size. The many heads smash through the ceiling of the spheres as glass rains down around all of you. Aiden will run over to Amity and sort of try to shield you with her wings, but is swatted as this thing's tail now whips around a large club-like branch and will smack into the both of you, Amity, sending you sort of to the side as Aiden pushes you just out of the way. She takes the brunt of it and goes sailing past the rest of you and smashes through the glass door out onto the sidewalk as we see this tree hydra breaking its way out of the spheres. And at this point, there was a crackle of gold lightning just behind Aiden.
What in the ever-loving... Fine. This is fine. This is totally fine. Yeah.
This is not fine.
Don't worry about it, Celestial. The cavalry is here.
What?
And we see a shadow pass over Aiden as Karla, Hernandez, Gabriela, Fernanda, and Mercedes land in front of the spheres. Their tattoo manifested wings all fold behind them, and we see Las Muertas here to back you up.
Cool.
Yeah, we need it.
Karla turns and looks back at Aiden, and she says, "With your permission, we are joining the fight." And she raises a black revolver covered in runes. "After it, girls."
Well, this'll be fun.
Your
friends are nothing but trouble, Hugo. Focus up. Let's do this.
Got it. The 3 Las Muertas whispered, draw their weapons, and charge into the spheres to back up Rogue Team. And that's where we'll end our session.
Yes.
Oh my god. We were so screwed until they showed up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we could have taken it.
6 heads.
1 for each of us.
Only 2 of us can fly.
I was going to be calling Ernie.
Okay.
Oh,
God.
man.
Wow.
Kaiju fight next week
Let's go.
as we destroy Jeff Bezos' weird balls in Seattle.
Oh, no.
See you next time, adventurers.
Bye, adventurers.
Hello, adventurers. As a special treat, I've included a scene which we ended up cutting, but this will give you an idea of how collaborative the storytelling on our show can sometimes be. Enjoy. And this tree, which is now thrumming and crackling with the green energy, we see a face appear within the bark, a mouth split open with nothing but the seafoam green energy behind the eyes and mouth. Almost like a twisted jack-o'-lantern grin. And growing in size, this tree stands up, shattering the roof of the spheres. Now, several stories high, a hulking,
tree kaiju has been created here.
Did you say a hydra?
Kaiju.
Oh, kaiju. Okay.
But Hydra is not a bad idea, Mel.
Natalie, no.
Oh my god, it's the gender ideology Hydra. The gender ideology Hydra was stored in the balls.
Yeah. Ooh, I do like this a lot, actually.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't. He's talking about.
No.
Yeah, that's
the tree
kinda
vibe
delicious.
so well to have Hydra regenerative powers.
It really does. So many branching. Yeah, I think branching from the treetops are several growing, knotted, bark-covered serpentine heads, creating a tree Hydra kaiju. Why not? It's what's her name? It's Tree Ghidorah.
All right. Natalie, above the table, real quick, do you want to roll all that back, not tell us it's a Hydra until Whitaker cuts that head off?
Ooh.
Right? You're real valid for that.
So right.
You're so correct.
It would undo some very funny table talk. So I'm 50-50, just throwing it out there.
Hey, you know what?
But you had that stored in the balls line. Do we really want to cut that?
Yeah, that's audio gold.
Just clip that and move it later.
Here's what we'll say. I will cut Mel suggesting Hydra. I will cut me describing the tree the first time. Restarting again. It's for you. You asked.
It's going to be so worth it.
If it's going to be a Hydra, it's going to be a Hydra on my terms. Which are the ones where I look like an idiot trying to kill it.
Let Whitaker have his Hercules moment.
He deserves it.